Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, world. I'm Christina from Be in the World Yoga. You can visit us at beintheworldyoga.com. And we're going to do a live yoga class for today. And it's going to be a fun one. Just one second. Actually, put that there for you. Okay. I know, but I want you to take it out of the screen. So anyway, I hope you're joining us right now. I'm in my living room. And yeah, let's get I'm just kind of waiting because I just kind of like made out a shout out that we're having this live yoga class right now. So I'm just letting you guys come on in to the room, your room. And so a couple of props that you can use or have handy. You can have a belt that is any kind of belt. This is a yoga belt, but so this is kind of like an army belt, one of those army belts. I think that's called an army belt. That kind of material, but as long as it's nice and long, if you don't have a belt like this, you can use like a scarf or pashmina that's really long. And it's just, and resistance bands are not, they're fine, but they're not going to give us what exactly I'm looking for. So if you could avoid using resistance bands and use something else that has a lot of resistance, like a belt like this. So anyway, and then we have yoga blocks that you might want to use, which have wonderful reasons for using yoga blocks is that they can help you get deeper into your yoga poses. And not, if you're feeling tight, these actually help you get deeper because it helps you release a little bit more so that you're not just kind of going too far into a pose that doesn't feel good and then you're resisting too much. This helps you actually release a little bit more. So the yoga blocks are good for that. If you have something else that looks like this, maybe it might be like a shoe box or something firm. Or a shoe box. They're making pretty strong shoe boxes lately. You can use that. So anyway, we're going to start our class soon. And again, I'm Christina. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have some water handy for you to drink at any time. And remember that this is your yoga practice. So you're going to listen to your body. You're going to, as much as you can, continue to breathe without holding your breath. Just observing your breath even. And also just relax and have fun. If anything feels too challenging for you, then it's just kind of one of those things that it might just be not today. And it's going to be fine. So just to let you know that, just listen to your body. Take a break in child's pose if you need to. Enjoy. Most importantly, continue to observe what's happening in your mind. And if you notice what's rising up, you can observe that and see maybe what you want to do with that. Maybe you want to change your thoughts to something more positive if it's not a healthy thought that feels nice for you or feels like it's going to help you get to your goals. So, sometimes we send negative thoughts in our mind when we're trying to do something and we tell ourselves we can't do it. But maybe if you notice that, you just observe that, you can decide whether you want to change that to, no, I can do it. Doesn't matter if you fail. Doesn't matter if you fall. Just tell yourself, I can do it and see what happens. Or just be okay with whatever the result is. So if you can just observe the mind, breathe, and listen to your body, you're doing yoga. Even when you're just walking down the street, if you do that. Okay, so let's come to a nice, comfortable seat. If you would like, you could take a block and place that underneath your sits bones. And then that's going to help you rise up so that your hips are higher than the knees, It helps to open up the hips a little bit more here so it feels relaxed, a little bit more open. Okay? And if you practice, if it feels more comfortable for you to sit right directly on the floor, you can go ahead and do that. If you really want to get twisty with it, you can put one leg on top, just keep the other leg in the bottom, or maybe both legs go on top. This actually, once you get to this point where you're this flexible, you're going to feel that your pelvis is going to come to a beautiful neutral place, which is why the block is helpful, because it also gets your pelvis to that nice neutral place. So take a moment just to notice, however you're sitting, how does that feel? And then can you take an inhale and lift your spine up nice and long, crown of the head reaching up towards the sky? Does that feel good? Beautiful. Okay, let's close our eyes and take 3 cleansing breaths, inhaling through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth. Close your eyes. Take an inhale. Let out a sigh if you want. Beautiful. Letting it wash over you. Inhale. One more time. Inhale. Beautiful. And noticing your breath now, gently let your jaw release, and your lips can gently touch if you want. Soften the muscles of your face. Lengthen the back of your neck so that your chin is not jutting out, but that your chin is parallel to the ground. And relax the shoulders. Let them relax away from the ears. Let your hip creases relax. Your thighs, your low part of your legs and your feet relax. Even the toes. Using your mind to tell parts of the body to relax. Relaxing your palms face down on top of your knees. Noticing the breath. Each natural inhale and exhale. See if you can bring your attention and awareness to the breath at the nostrils. Just dropping in and feeling connected. And we'll take a moment just to notice the sounds around us. So if you like, you can label 3 sounds that you hear around you. Beautiful. And then bringing your attention back to the breath. And draw your palms together at heart center. And we'll open our practice with the sound of Om. So taking an inhale here. Beautiful. Tip your inner gaze down towards your palms and take a moment to think about something that you're grateful for. And if we take those moments every day to remind ourselves of something that we're grateful for, it actually helps us to feel more content, to bring more joy into our life. And just inviting that joy. Beautiful. And we're going to take our hands and rub them together here, creating a nice warmth between the palms. You can make circles with the palms. Beautiful. Inhale, take your palms to the top of your eyes. Cover your eyes with your palms. Exhale. And without pressing the hands into the eyes, take an inhale. Send the breath to the back of the eye sockets. Send the energy from the hands to the back of the eye sockets. And exhale. 2 more times. Inhaling that energy, that heat from the hands to the back of the eye sockets. Exhale. And 1 more time. Exhale. Beautiful. Float your hands down to your knees and flutter your eyes open. Gorgeous. And from here, you can switch out the legs if you like. If you want to take one leg out, you can do that too. So a little Kriya here, a little Kriya meditation. We're going to take an inhale, sweep the arms from behind all the way forward on the inhale. And exhale, let that wash over you. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Inhale. Exhale. Do it 3 more times on your own. Beautiful. Let's come to, actually, let's do a little twist here. So from here, take your block out to the side. Have it towards the top of your mat to keep it handy. And you're going to take your left leg in front, your right leg to the back. And when I'm facing you, I'm going to be mirroring you. So I'll say your left leg, but I'm using my right leg. Just telling you that so as to not confuse you. Take an inhale to a long spine. Exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, take your right hand to the outside of your left leg and send that left hand up to the sky. Exhale, take your hand back behind you, reaching their fingers to the floor back behind you. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale, maybe you can look back over the left shoulder. Take 3 breaths here, drawing that left shoulder back to open up the left side of your chest. Maybe you can feel your shoulder blade moving onto the back a little bit more. Gorgeous. And then bring yourself back to center. And we're going to take the other side here. So taking the legs to the other side. This is called deer pose. Some people also call it pinwheel pose. And there's a Sanskrit name for it, which I'll have to get back to you about because I forgot. Take an inhale, long spine. Exhale, send your left hand over past your right knee. Inhale, right arm reaches up to the sky. And exhale, take your fingers back behind you. Lengthen your spine. Inhale. Exhale, look over the back shoulder. Take a few breaths. Draw that right shoulder back. Beautiful. Inhale, bring yourself back to center. We'll come on to tabletop position. So hands and knees, hands underneath the wrists. I'm sorry, that made no sense. Hands underneath the shoulders. And check that your wrist creases are lined up with the front of your mat. Your fingers are spreading, and you can round the tips of the fingers so that they're pressing down into the ground. So energize those hands. The knees are underneath the hips. Now, if you have some wrist stuff where it hurts you to go on your wrists here, you can take your forearms onto the ground or even onto blocks to make you higher. And another option is roll the front of your yoga mat and have the palms of the hands or the heels of the hands just sit on the yoga mat while the rest of the hands slide off. So you can figure out which one of those work for you if you have some wrist stuff. So from here, if you have your hands on the floor, spread through your fingers here. Press the tips of the fingers onto the ground. The toes can be tucked or pointed. Okay, let's do this. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, round your spine, chin to chest. Inhale, open up the shoulders. Let your tailbone reach up to the sky. And exhale, round your spine. Look at your belly button or between your legs. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Inhale. Draw your shoulders back, peel your heart open, and exhale. Beautiful. And one more time. Inhale. And exhale. We're going to sit right back onto the heels. Take your forehead to the ground and take your hands back behind you in puppy pose. This is a great place to come to rest in between the poses or just to take a little break of your own. Anytime you need to take a break, you can come here. Let your shoulders melt away from your spine. So just move out to the sides of your body. And release. Take some breaths here. Beautiful. Inhale and reach your arms up overhead. Spread through your fingers here. Lift up your armpits. Exhale. Inhale, come to tabletop position. And we're going to take puppy pose. Walk your hands forward, spreading through your fingers. Take an inhale. Hips over the knees. Exhale, forehead comes to the ground. Take a few breaths here. Maybe the chin comes to the ground. Beautiful. Walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. We'll needle and thread here. So inhale, lift the right arm up to the sky. And exhale, needle and thread. Take it underneath the left shoulder. Inhale it up again. Exhale, take it underneath. Inhale and exhale. Now we're going to go all the way to the ground. Leave the right shoulder on the floor. Take a few breaths here. You can extend your left arm up overhead. Beautiful. And slide your left hand back underneath the shoulder. And we'll do it on the other side. Inhale, left arm reaches up to the sky. Exhale, needle and thread. Inhale. Exhale. Move with the breath. And exhale. Take your shoulder onto the floor. Extend your your right arm up overhead. See if you can start to balance the hips so that they're in line with each other. To the left hip might try to tuck in and the right hip lift up. Just center them. Beautiful. Slide your hand underneath your shoulders. Cool. And let's step our right foot back behind us. Come onto the ball of that foot and reach through the heel. Opening up the calf here. Beautiful. Other side, knee comes down. Take the left foot back behind. Opening up your calf. Reaching through your heel here. Gorgeous. Take the knee down to the floor. Tuck your toes. Press your hands into the ground and lift your hips up to the sky for downward facing dog. Start to pedal out through the feet, letting one knee bend at a time, and then the opposite heel comes towards the ground. Taking some breaths here. If you need to take a break in child's pose at any time, you can go ahead and do that. Beautiful. And then we're going to come right to center in our downward facing dog. Take an inhale. Lift your hips up to the sky. So you're coming high on the heels of the feet here. Press your hands into the floor. Exhale. Take another inhale, pressing your hands into the floor to push the front part of your mat away from you. And exhale, heels come down to the ground. Spread through your toes. So the heels may not touch the ground. Let me say that. They may not touch the ground. They may just reach towards the ground. Beautiful. Taking some breaths. And take an inhale. Exhale, knees to the ground. Let's take it to child's pose. Forehead comes to the ground. Hands reach back behind you, melting the shoulders off the body here. And breathing. Notice your breath. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Come on to tabletop position, tuck your toes, and inhale, lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhaling and exhaling. Gorgeous. Inhale, we're going to slowly walk the feet to the top of the mat so you can breathe however your breath goes right now, so breathing normally. Beautiful. Let yourself hang over the legs here. So we're going to release the neck. Release the head. Imagine that it can just drop to the floor. Grab onto the insides of your elbows here. And in this ragdoll position, you could separate your feet hips distance apart. And rock left to right, loosening the upper body, just allowing it to release like a beautiful traction you're creating for yourself to help lengthen the spine. Lengthen your posture. Beautiful. And just enjoy how good this feels to completely release the upper body. We'll take an inhale. On the exhale, we're going to drop the hands to the floor and let everything go. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. And from here, start to soften your knees. Take the tailbone down towards the floor and roll up the spine, tucking the tail, rolling up. Chin is tucked into the chest. Keep your eyes closed here for a moment. Roll the shoulders back. Stand all the way up to mountain pose. If you get to feel a little dizzy when you come to the top, take your palms together and your thumb to your third eye. And take a few breaths there. Beautiful. So walk to the top of your mat and take your hands down to your sides, coming into mountain pose. Check that your feet are hips distance apart. Spread your toes away from each other. Soften your knees for a moment here to send the weight into the feet. And balance the feet evenly. So ball of the foot has weight on it and heel of the foot. So it's nice and even there. Beautiful. Draw the thighs in, lengthen up through your spine. Inhale and exhale. Relax the shoulders. Beautiful. Inhale, arms reach up to the sky. And make sure you have room around you. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold. Inhale to flat back. Your fingertips are to the ground, or you could place them on top of blocks and lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold over the legs, soften the knees. Inhale, arms reach out and up overhead, palms come together, and exhale, prayer right down through the center line. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, hands reach up to the sky, lift up your chest. Exhale, hinge at your hips, long, long spine. Forward fold, release the upper body, rounding into your legs. Inhale to flat back. Fingertips to the ground or to blocks, and exhale, fold. Soften your knees. Take your hands out to the side and reach your hands up to the sky in the inhale. Exhale, prayer to the center. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, fold again. Soften the knees. Inhale, arms reach out and up overhead. Palms come together. Exhale, prayer down through center line. Beautiful. We're going to add that to the next following poses here. Inhale. And exhale, hinge at the hips. Forward fold. Inhale, flat back. I was going to call it something wrong. Exhale, fold over the legs. Step both feet back to plank pose, reaching through your heels, lifting up through your low belly. Inhale your heart forward here. And exhale, knees to the ground. Bend your elbows and lower your belly down to the floor. Forehead comes down too. Point your toes here and inhale. Peel your heart up off the floor. Now take your elbows and let them hug the side body. This is baby cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes, come onto the knees, and lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Inhale, pressing the hands into the floor, sending your hips up and back. Exhale, guiding your heels down to the floor. 2 more breaths. You can have the knees bent here if it feels a little tight in the back of the hamstrings. Exhale. 1 more breath here. Beautiful. Inhale, look to the top of the mat and walk your feet to meet the hands at the top of the mat, coming to a flat back. Lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, arms reach out and up overhead. Palms come together. And we're going to go right to it. Exhale, hands reach out, coming into a swan dive. Forward fold here. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, hands to the ground. Step back to plank pose. Reaching through your plank. Inhale. Exhale, knees to the ground. Let the elbows skim the side body, coming down to the floor. Point the toes. Inhale, peel your heart up off the floor. So pressing your hands into the floor here. Keep the elbows bent. Exhale, tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. Beautiful. Take 3 breaths here. Beautiful. Inhale your right leg up to the sky. Bend the knee and stack the hips here. Take a few breaths. Gorgeous. Exhale. Bring the hips back to center and take your right foot down to the floor. Inhale, left foot reaches up to the sky. Stack the hips. Bringing your hips back to center. Take the left foot down to the floor. Inhale, look to the top of the mat. Walk, step, or if you like, hop your feet to the top of the mat and inhale into that flat back. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, arms reach out and up overhead. Palms come together. Exhale, prayer down the center line. Inhale, arms reach up to the sky. And exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, hands to the ground, step back to plank. Inhale, reach through your heart here. Hands pressing into the ground. Exhale, knees to the ground, lower down. Inhale, peel your heart, cobra pose. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale, right leg reaches up to the sky, stack the hips. Open it up, take 3 breaths here. See if you can even out your shoulders. Maybe you can soften the left knee. Try not to lock the left knee. Beautiful. Inhale the right leg straight up to the sky and exhale, pull the knee into the belly. Send that right foot to the right thumb. You might have to grab that leg and drag it with you. Take the left knee down to the ground. Here's where blocks can be quite helpful. So take your blocks underneath your hands if you're feeling pretty tight here. Just rise up here. Keep your blocks underneath your hands for a second. Rise up. Right now the hip the left hip is over the left knee. We're going to set our right foot here so that the right knee is over the right ankle. Take your left hand on your low belly, right hand on your low back, and make sure your hips are in a nice neutral position. And we're going to keep them neutral as we move into Anjaneyasana. So you have to press into your right foot, not your right big foot. I just feel a little bit not balanced right now, no big deal. Take an inhale and exhale, softening forward. The right hip may go past the right ankle. Take your hands to blocks. Maybe have a little blanket underneath the left knee. Gaze forward. Just opening up that hip. Maybe the hands come to the ground here and you let your head go. Take a few breaths. Beautiful. And now we're going to straighten through this front leg. So rocking the hips back, flexing through the right foot. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And hinging at your hips, you're going to draw your belly towards the top of your right thigh. Take a few breaths here. Your hands can be on the floor or on blocks. Whatever feels cozy. Beautiful. Bend through your right knee again. And take your blocks to the side. Hands come to the floor. Step back to plank pose. We're going to go through our vinyasa again. Inhaling in plank and exhaling, knees to the ground. Lower your belly down. Point your toes. Tailbone reaches down to the floor. Inhale, peel your heart open. You may notice you're going a little higher if it's there. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Take another inhale. Exhale, let it wash over you. Beautiful. Inhale, left leg reaches up to the sky. Stack the hips. Take a few breaths here. Notice what your mind is saying. If it's saying anything negative, maybe just try to make it positive, or you can just observe that and, just do what you want to do with it. What I mean by that is I can't, I'm always on a journey. I'm always having epiphanies, so making discoveries about myself. Bring your hips back to center. Inhale, sending your left foot forward. Right knee comes down to the ground. You can grab onto your blocks. Beautiful. Let's start off taking that right hip over the right knee. Beautiful. Make sure your hips are at neutral. Tailbone is reaching down. And when you soften forward, your tailbone continues to reach down towards the floor, lifting up the low belly here. Take a few breaths. You want to move your foot to where it feels comfortable. So if it doesn't feel comfortable where it is, see what feels more comfortable for you. We want to feel this hip opening in the front of the right thigh. And untuck your back toe if it feels a little too rough on your knee. Beautiful. Inhale. And exhale, straighten through the front leg again. Take your blocks underneath your shoulders, folding over the legs here. Beautiful. Bend through the front knee, take your blocks to the side, step back to plank pose. Press your hands into the ground. Lift up the low belly and press the tips of the fingers. Again, if wrists hurt, forearms come to the ground, okay? Beautiful. Exhale, knees to the floor. Lower your belly down. Point your toes. This time we're going to rise up into upward dog. So pressing your hands into the floor. Come onto the tops of your feet here and lift your thighs up. Take a few breaths. See if you can draw your shoulders back, lifting up your heart. Extend through your tailbone, pulling your low belly up. And exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale, look to the top of your mat Walk, step, or hop your feet to meet the hands. And exhale, forward to flat, to forward fold here. Beautiful. Let's release the upper body for a minute. Grab onto the insides of your elbows. Do a little ragdoll. Just a reminder to relax and to find joy and release in all of the poses, as well as strength and flexibility. So we want to try to receive our practice as well as participate in it. Take an inhale and exhale. Let it all drop to the floor. Soften your knees. Inhale. Arms reach up to the sky. Palms come together. Beautiful. Exhale. Prayer down through center line. Okay, coming into mountain pose. Have your feet hips distance apart and balance the weight evenly on the front and the back part of your feet. Squeeze your thighs together. Inhale. Arms reach up to the sky. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, draw your shoulders back and send your heart forward. Exhale, hands to the ground. Step the right foot back behind you now. Left foot steps forward. And then we're going to take the right heel down to the floor for warrior one. Inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky. The left knee is over the left ankle as much as you can get it. Maybe it's a little bit past or behind the left ankle. Beautiful. The arms are reaching up to the sky. Lift up through the low belly. Take an inhale. Exhale. Let's clasp the hands behind the back. Roll the shoulders back. Lift up the heart. Reach through your right heel. Reach your left knee forward. Inhale, arms reach up to the sky. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step back, and we're going to go through your vinyasa. So now you can go from plank. If you want to go, bend the elbows through chaturanga. Lift up the upper dog. You can do that. Or you can do it with child's pose or come all the way down to the floor. When you're ready, meeting in downward facing dog. I like to shake out the head here to loosen tension, to release that. Beautiful. Inhale, left leg is going to reach up to the sky. Exhale, pull the knee into the belly and send the left foot to the top of the mat. Turn your back heel down and inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky. Beautiful. Exhale, clasp your hands behind your back. Roll your shoulders back and lift up your heart. Tailbone reaches down towards the floor. Take another inhale. And exhale. Release the hands to the ground and step both feet together in a forward fold. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms reach up to the sky. Palms come together. Exhale, prayer down through center line. Beautiful. Taking your feet hips distance apart, we're going to come to Utkatasana, which is kind of like an awkward chair pose, as they call it. Inhale, arms reach up to the sky, and exhale, bend your knees. This is a different way to do it. Send your hands forward and send your booty back in the opposite direction. Take a few breaths. Feel your thighs squeezing towards the center line. Pull your belly to the back of the spine. Beautiful. Inhale, arms reach up to the sky, palms come together, and exhale, forward fold over the legs here. Beautiful. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step your feet back. Oops, actually walk your feet forward again. Inhaling to flat back. Exhale, step your left foot back behind you. Turn the back foot down to the floor, and inhaling up to warrior one. So taking a few breaths here, hands up to the sky, soften your shoulders away from the ears. Inhale and exhale, hands clasp behind the back, roll those shoulders back, lift up your chest. Beautiful. Inhale, arms reach up to the sky. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step back, go through your vinyasa, or you can skip the vinyasa and go straight to child's pose or downward dog. Beautiful. Meeting in downward dog. And inhale, right leg reaches up to the sky. Exhale, send the right foot forward, turn your back heel down. Inhale, arms reach up to the sky. Warrior one again. And exhale, clasp your hands behind your back. Inhale, lift up your heart. Take a few breaths. Beautiful. Inhale, arms reach up to the sky. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step both feet together in a nice forward fold. Shake out your head here. Inhale, arms reach up to the sky. Palms come together. Exhale, prayer down the center line. Beautiful. Inhale, arms reach up to the sky. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Forward fold. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, right foot steps back behind you and turn the right heel down to the floor so that the front foot and the back foot are at a 90-degree angle. Heels are lined up with each other. I'm just going to switch sides so that we can be on the same side together. So now we're opening. We'll take our hands right on top of the left thigh and open the back hip up to warrior two. So check that your heels are in line with each other. Spread through your toes. You want to root the feet. You want to feel the earth underneath your feet here. Beautiful. And now pointing your hips out to the side, opening up through the left thigh here. Inhale, let the arms rise up, gaze over the left fingertips. Beautiful. Inhale, straighten through the left leg, palms come together. Exhale, back down. Inhale, rising up through warrior two. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Stay in warrior two. Drop your shoulders away from the ear. And focus on your breath here. Inhaling and exhaling. Beautiful. Inhale, reach forward, turn the left palm up, and lift up and back to peaceful warrior. Exhale, forearm comes to your thigh. Left knee is over the left ankle. Right arm reaches up and over, and look up to the sky here. Take a few breaths. Reach from the edge of the back foot all the way to the tips of the right fingertips here. Beautiful. Inhale, rise on up, straighten through your front leg for warrior, for triangle pose. You're going to take a block, if you like, and place it behind the left shin. Or you can put your hand right on the left shin. If you don't have a block, that's going to be totally fine. So inhaling those arms. Exhale, send the hips back. You notice how the hips are reaching back. The left hand can go on the shin. Without pushing that hand down, lift up through the right hand. Now, same thing on the block. You're just guiding your hand to where it needs to be so you can lift up through the right hand. And try not to take that hand all the way down to the ankle that it feels like you're kind of slouching over to the left side. Take a few breaths here. Keep the spine nice and long. And look down to the floor or up to the right thumb. Beautiful. Inhale, bend through the left knee, warrior two. Exhale, soften the arms down. Beautiful. Circle your hands down to the floor and step all the way back to plank pose. Go through your vinyasa. And your vinyasa may change. You may think you're going to do something, and then your body wants to do something else. So tune in to what's going on. Beautiful. Gorgeous. Inhale, look to the top of the mat. Walk, step, or hop your feet to meet the hands. Coming into that flat back. Exhale, fold. Soften your knees. Inhale, arms reach out and up, overhead. Palms come together. Exhale, prayer right down through the center line. Okay, beautiful. Coming to mountain pose. Inhale, arms reach up to the sky. Palms come together. And exhale, hinge at your hips into a forward fold. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, left foot steps back behind you. Take that heel down, setting up for warrior two. Press the right foot into the floor and inhale all the way up to warrior two. Beautiful. When you're ready, your hips are pointed out to the side. Your heels are in line with each other. You're spreading through your toes and the bottom of your feet. Inhale, straighten through the front leg. Palms come together. Exhale, soften down. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Gazing over the right fingertips. Opening that right hip. It's kind of an evening the right thigh out here so that it stays directly over the right ankle. Soften your shoulders. Press your feet into the ground. Keep those feet pressed as you inhale up and back to peaceful warrior. Exhale, side angle pose. Take a few breaths here. Right knee over the right ankle, maybe looking up to the sky. You might feel this opening from the left hip all the way to the left armpit. Lean back into that. Beautiful. Inhale, rise up to warrior two. Straighten through your front leg. And setting up for triangle pose, you can take a block right behind your right shin. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, send the hips back and reach forward, forward, forward. So keep that length here as you take the hand down to the floor or to the shin. Rise the left hand up to the sky. Take a few breaths. Looking at your left thumb, maybe down to the floor. Soften through the right knee. Warrior two. Circle your hands down to the floor and step back. Go through your vinyasa. Beautiful. Inhale, look to the top of the mat and walk or step the feet forward or hop them flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms reach out and up overhead, palms together. And then we're going to sit back into Utkatasana. So separate the hands. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Reach your hands forward. You could take your feet together here. Pull the belly to the back of the spine. And then lift the hands up a little bit higher. Take a few breaths. Exhale, palms to heart center. Take your right elbow over the outside of your right thigh. Sink those hips and press the palms into one another here. Take a few breaths. Inhaling back to center. Take it over to the other side. Left elbow presses into the right leg. Press palms into one another. Hips are even with each other. Taking some breaths. Beautiful. Bring it back to center. Fold over the legs. Take an inhale. Separate your feet, hips distance. Exhale. Inhale. And then exhale. We could do a little yogi toe lock here. Taking your peace fingers around your big toe on each side. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale, bend those elbows, folding into yourself here. Let your head go. Pulling your belly closer to your body, to your legs. Try to slow down the breath. Or just feel what it's doing. Beautiful. Release the toes. And we're going to take the left foot, reach it up, take the left hand underneath the foot, and step right onto the palm of that left hand. Do that with the other hand too. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale, let yourself pour over the legs here. You can bend your knees. Beautiful. And release the hands. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, fold again. Inhale, arms reach out and up overhead. Remember, be gentle with yourself. Palms come together. Thumbs come to third eye. Close your eyes and listen to your breath. Beautiful. All right, from here we're going to practice a fun pose called dancer's pose, Natarajasana. I love that name. That's the Sanskrit name for it, Natarajasana. So, take your feet hips distance apart and bring yourself into your mountain pose. Balancing your weight evenly on the front part of your feet and the back part of your feet. In balance poses, we want to have our gaze fixed on one point. So when we do that, we're able to use that to lock in. It helps us balance more. And it's also, we have different kinds of locks in yoga. This is one of those locks, your dristi, focusing on one thing. So I might just focus on my friend, beautiful Buddha over here while I'm balancing. Maybe I take my palms together, not just looking at all of him, but maybe just like one little part, one little dot on top of his head, and focus everything there. This is a fun practice because it teaches you, or it plays you the game of, can you keep your eyes focused? It's almost like the can we stare at each other without blinking game, which I can't remember what that's called. So can you keep your eyes focused on that one point? Take your palms together and focus on one point. Listen to your breath. Notice how your breath changes when you just drop into the focus. Beautiful. Let's start to press our left foot into the floor. Release your hands to the side. Grab your right ankle and pull that right heel towards the right glute, your right buttocks. Then you can bring your attention back to that one point and stay here, guiding this front hip to open. So we're just introducing information. We're telling the leg, we're going to open you up a little bit. It's going to be fine. You're going to be safe. Also, if you fall out of the balance, remember it's not a big deal. We're just having fun here. Don't be too hard on yourself and don't be so military about it. Just have fun. Focus is the key, not stiffness. Taking your foot, let's take that foot down now, since you've probably been standing on balancing on it long enough. Take the other foot now. Spread through your toes. Notice what you have to do with your bottom foot to help you stay in the balance. Lengthen your spine. Keep drawing that right hip in, the outer hip in, staring at that one point. Beautiful. Take that foot down, shake it out. Okay, we're going to start balancing on the right foot first. So first, find your drishti. You know where you're going to start focusing on when you get a chance. And then grab your ankle, bring it to the heel to the glute. Send your right hand forward. Keep your gaze on that one point. If the point needs to change, you can change it and focus on that point. Beautiful. From here, start to press your left foot into your left hand and hinge forward a little bit here. Reaching your right hand forward. Beautiful. You might fall out of it. If you do, it's all good. Just come right back into it. And notice what happened. Maybe you were leaning too much on the outside of your left foot and you have to press your right big toe down. So coming back into it, if you fall out of it, because it's not a big deal, it's just fun. Right hand reaches forward. Take an inhale. Exhale to come into it. Also, another thing, you should bend the right knee first to come into this, which is what I normally like to do. And just enjoying. See if you can center the left hip with the right hip so they're squared off. When you're ready, come on down. Wasn't that fun? And we'll do that on the other side. Find your mountain pose first. Grab onto your right ankle. Bend your left knee. That's what I like to do first. Beautiful. Inhale. Send your left hand forward. Exhale. Ground that right foot. That standing foot. When you're ready. Press the foot into the palm. Woo. Stare at that one point. Take some breaths here. Coming back into it if you fall out. And when you're ready, take the leg down. Beautiful. Okay, shake it out. Let everything go. Shake out the legs. Whew. Shake out the body. Grab some water if you'd like. Beautiful, refreshing water. Okay. Let's come to the top of our mat now. Mountain pose. Inhale, arms reach up to the sky. Exhale, hinge at your hips for a forward fold. Inhale to flat back. And exhale, hands to the ground. Step both feet back to plank pose. Shoulders over the wrists here. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, lowering down. Point the toes. Inhale, peel your heart up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. You're going to do rock star pose now. Inhale, right leg reaches up to the sky. And start to send that foot back behind to see the ground. Coming onto the edge of the left foot. Reach your right arm up, lifting your hips up towards the sky. So you're just kind of doing a reverse downward dog here. Rock star. Inhale and exhale. Take your hands back to downward facing dog. Shake out your wrists. Beautiful. And we'll do this on the other side. Inhale, left foot reaches up to the sky. Bend that knee and start to look for the ground behind you. Straighten through the right leg. Come onto the edge of the right foot. Lift up your hips and extend your left arm up and over. Take a few breaths here. Press your tips of your fingers into the ground. Exhale, take your hands down to the floor, back around. Coming into downward facing dog. And exhale, take your knees to the ground. Child's pose. Forehead comes to the ground. Take your hands back behind you. And take some beautiful breaths here. Slowing down the breath. Releasing. Beautiful. Now take your hands underneath your shoulders and come up onto your shins, rising up. We're going to take our blocks and place them a little bit behind the feet here, or actually right with the ankles. Let's keep them right with the ankles here. Rise on up onto the knees, coming into camel pose. So draw the thighs back and the hips forward. Tailbone reaches down. Gonna really stretch open the chest here. Inhale, lift those shoulders up and back behind you. You can have the toes tucked for balance here, or you could take or even to take the right hand on top of the heel, which you'll see. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, maybe taking the right hand to the block or the right hand to the heel, or both hands to both heels. Or you can have hands on blocks here. And from here, chin can be tucked or let your head drop back, opening up the throat and the neck, and take about 3 to 5 breaths here. Tuck your chin and rise on up. Untuck your toes, sit back on your heels. Beautiful. Roll those shoulders. Beautiful. We'll do that one more time. Coming up onto the shins or on the knees, tuck your toes or point them. Pointing them is just going to make your feet go lower or your heels go lower. Beautiful. Inhale, lengthen your spine, hips move forward, thighs move back. Exhale. Inhale, reach back behind you for your heel or block. Beautiful. And when you're ready, you'll decide chin tucked or letting your head rock back. Take some breaths here, 3 to 5, or more if you really want to. And tucking that chin back into the chest when you're ready. Sit back onto your heels, neutral pelvis. Take your blocks out to the side. We're going to come all the way onto our back now. Whew. Have your knees up right now. And just settling your low back towards the floor. You can place your hands on your belly, noticing the breath rise and fall in the belly. So proper breathing will actually lift the belly or expand the belly. Improper breathing is where it expands just the chest. So if you find that your chest, you can experiment when you're sitting up. If you find that your chest is the place where your breath is going and expanding, start to deepen your breath and sending that breath down so that your belly can expand, because you want to press into that diaphragm. Beautiful. We'll take a twist here. Extend the left leg and hug the right knee into the chest. Send that right knee over to the left side and open up your arms here into a T form. Beautiful. Gaze over the right shoulder, taking some breaths. Soften your right hip. A couple options here. You could take that right foot onto the left thigh, or you can even put a block underneath your right knee if it doesn't come to the ground. And just relaxing in this pose, receiving the breath. Letting yourself unlock anything in the body or in the mind. One more inhale and exhale. Inhale, bring yourself back to center. Hug that right knee into the chest. And then extend that leg down to the ground. Hug the left knee into the chest. And then you're going to take that knee over, twisting over to the right side. Extend through the left arm. And take a few breaths here. You can gaze over the left fingers. And then bringing it back to center. Hug the left knee into the chest. And extend that leg down to the ground. Centering yourself on your yoga mat, take your feet out to the sides of your mat and turn the palms up. Take an inhale and exhale, soften the whole body onto the floor. Close your eyes. Bring your attention to your breath rising and falling from your belly or in your belly. And keep your focus there. Relaxing the chest. Relaxing the shoulders, the arms and the hands. Relaxing the throat. Softening your jaw. And softening the muscles of your face. Your legs are nice and heavy. And your feet are heavy and soft. As you watch the breath rise and fall. And we'll start to deepen the breath. begin to wiggle out through the fingers and the toes. Maybe making circles with your ankles, circles with the wrists. Maybe move your spine a little bit. And inhale, arms reach out and up overhead, extending from fingertip to toe. Nice morning stretch. And exhale, take yourself over to your right side. Staying here for a moment, coming to the fetal position here, and just taking that pause. And take your left hand into the ground. With your eyes closed, bring yourself up into a seated position. Legs are crossed. Taking your hands on top of your knees for a moment. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale, soften your shoulders. Notice how you feel right now. Inhale your palms to your heart center, reminding yourself of what you are grateful for. And I am certainly grateful for sharing this practice with you today. We'll take an inhale for the sound of Om, inhaling. The light in me is honored by the light in you. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. Namaste. Yay! Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. And if you have any questions, I would love to hear you. Write them in the comments or chat with me and I'll write back to you. Also, please check out our website, Be in the World Yoga. We have beautiful breath exercises there and stuff that you can do to help center your mind and relax your body. And of course, we do a Wednesday yoga live class every Wednesday. I'm saying things backwards today, but all right. So thank you so much for everybody that joined us today and made a little comment and stuff like that. And hi to my beautiful women that join me every single week, Judy and Marilyn. Mwah. Love you, and I miss you. And can't wait to see you guys soon. So I hope you guys are all doing well and all finding peace in your life. Take everything that you learned about yourself here, the lessons that you learned, the discoveries that you made, the mentality that you do on your yoga practice, and use that for your life. Don't just keep it to the 1 hour of yoga or half an hour of yoga that you do every day. Take that and let that teach you how to feel good and how to become your highest self. So thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste. Namaste. My husband's going to graciously shut this off. Namaste.